Hello, hello. I hope we're on. I hope we're live. I think it's happening. Just take a sip of my tea. Get a minute for everyone to gather their life together and join me here, live from Brooklyn. So, before I get going, I just want to say that it's so gorgeous outside here in New York. Like it's this beautiful blue sky. It's like, let's see, 46 degrees. And earlier this morning, I'm from Minneapolis, and so on my phone, on my weather app, I keep my Minneapolis as so I can see the weather, what's going on at home. And a few hours ago, it was 45 degrees in New York and 3 degrees in Minneapolis, and I was like, oh man, I love you, Minneapolis, so much, but oh my gosh, I am glad that I just stepped outside with my dress and no cardigan and just a jacket and ran a quick errand. So anyway, yay, nice weather. Birds are chirping. So I am. When I think about, I was, just like thinking like today, I'm actually like so excited about today's topic. I feel like I'm excited about all the topics that I've been gearing up to share with you guys. And this month in February, I'll need all things nutrition for you. But I'm super excited about this topic because it's something that I think that we aren't really aware of how important food diversity is. And I think many of us can relate being stuck in a food rut. But before I start, I just would like to introduce myself. My name is Alyssa Abrahamson. And yay, Alyssa! Yay, I'm so happy you're here. So my name is Alyssa Abrahamson, and I'm a nutritional therapist and wellness coach. And today, Wednesday, what's the 19th? It's February 19th. Is the third of my 4 free online workshops in February, all things nutrition for you. So this has been just super fun for me to come and engage with you and share and teach and connect every Wednesday with a new topic. And I was just saying, like, I'm so excited about today's Food Rut. I think so many of us can relate. Food diversity, what the hell is that? Like, why does it matter? So anyway, I'm pumped. Thank you so much for being here and for joining me. So I just want to just like acknowledge, like, and when you think about like what you're eating, okay, so think about like what did you eat? If you ate this morning, what did you eat this morning? Did you eat the same thing yesterday and the day before, or like the weeks before, months before? Yay, Adrienne, hi. So, I feel like humans are creatures of habit, and it can become we can fall into this kind of like comfort, and it's more easy if we kind of eat the same things over and over again. I mean, I know that I certainly, as aware as I am of how important it is to have food diversity, I certainly find myself really, when I'm food shopping, like really intentionally, making sure that I'm mixing it up. And so we're going to get to that, but I am just super curious. So for me, my like 3 go-to vegetables all the time are sweet potatoes, Brussels sprouts, and cauliflower. And I do different things with them. Like either I do roasted cauliflower, or I do like, last night, oh my God, I made this like amazing sweet potato mash. Get in touch if you want the recipe. It's so freaking easy. But anyway, or Brussels sprouts, roasting them, or have them shaved or whatever. So those are my 3 go-tos. So I'm super curious, like, what are your like 1 or 2 or 3 go-to foods? Like, just please put them in the comments. I'm like, hi, Hinda. I'm super curious what your 3 foods that you love that you just find yourself eating all the time. Again, mine are Brussels sprouts and sweet potatoes and cauliflower. So share with me so I can know where you guys are at. What are your foods, whether it's 1, 2, or 3, share that you find yourself eating all the time. So I think, a lot of people find it really easy to just kind of mix up their food often and eat a wide variety of food. But like I said before, I think some of us can really fall into that routine, and then some of us actually kind of get confused about what to eat. Maybe we're trying to eat healthy and we don't know what's the best thing because there's such conflicting information out there. Every article or every, like Googling or the new books that come out on nutrition or anything. Hi, Annette. Yay. Broccoli, Yukon potatoes, and tossed salad. I hear ya. I hear you, sister. Okay. So, there's one thing when we're eating the same thing over and over again that we love and we love and love, but I know so many of us and a lot of my clients are like so bored with what they're eating and they're just confused. And that kind of sucks to feel that like confusion and frustration. So I'm just curious, like, is anyone bored or confused, with what to eat? I certainly know that a lot of people in my world and folks that I work with are confused and bored, and it's something that I really am always so excited to help offer different ideas and resources and guidance through really determining what is the most important foods for you as an individual to be eating. So I'm just curious if you're bored or confused of what to eat. Just write in the comments. Yes, I'm bored. Yes, I'm confused. Help me, Alyssa. So the other thing is I've just mentioned this, like, turkey sandwiches. It's an easy go-to, right? I get it. So like I think most of us are really trying to, be healthy and we're doing the best we can. And so when we think of like what's healthy, like there's so many it depends on the individual, but like really like if you think about like a chicken stir fry, if you have like carrots and broccoli and chicken, and you have that all the time. And that's just kind of your go-to because you're like, okay, it's healthy and it's super easy and it's affordable, but then you're having it like all the freaking time. And even though you like it, it's kind of just like, again, boring and you don't really know where to turn or what to do. So I feel like there's just many different angles that we can come into understanding like this food rut. So I'm super curious, like no matter if it's like you're bored with what to eat, confused, or you just don't really know what's the best thing for you to be eating for your health. Who out there, who's stuck in a food rut? Are you stuck in a food rut? Let me know in the comments. Just say, yo, me, food rut. I'm stuck in a food rut. Help, Alyssa. What's interesting is I feel like also like over the years of, being alive, we kind of hear like, oh, eat the same thing over and over again. It's all these, like it's healthy stuff. And like, just if you're eating salmon, stick with salmon every single day or eggs every single day. Well, the interesting thing is I'm here to dispel that myth. When you are eating the same thing over and over and over again, like day in, day out, week after week, month after month, year after year, it's actually unhealthy. It is unhealthy. You could be eating like avocados, like the thing that you think is like the most healthy. And if you're eating it every single day and it's something that like you are like, just kind of obsessed with, for a lot of us, that is avocados, that can be unhealthy. And what's super interesting and why that is because when we are continuing to eat the same thing over and over again, we can develop a food sensitivity or intolerance to that food. And that might not make any sense. And I'm here to explain this to you. So let me just repeat that again. When you eat the same foods over and over again, even if it's seemingly helpful, like a banana, you could actually develop a food sensitivity or intolerance to that food. So again, if you're eating almonds every single day, day in, day out, week after week, year after year. You're eating avocado, you're eating eggs every single day, day in, day out. Turkey sandwiches, Yukon potatoes. That can lead to a potential food sensitivity or intolerance. And so how does that work and what the heck does that mean? So, okay, if you're not aware, I just want to explain to you that most of us are not digesting our foods properly. So how does that work? Why is that? So most of us are not chewing our food enough. And you can see that like in your poop, you can see food particles in your poop. So we're not chewing enough. We're eating while we're stressed out. We're eating while we're multitasking. So we're not digesting our food properly. We have low stomach acid, and we need stomach acid in order to properly digest our fats and our proteins, and that is all a part of this concept called leaky gut, which is intestinal permeability. And so when we are, and most of us, have like some form of a leaky gut, and so basically when we're consistently eating foods and they're maldigested, and they're kind of like seeking out through these like through the leaky gut, like the porous holes in our intestines and our gastrointestinal tract, and it seeps out into our bloodstream, then basically over time the antibodies are basically proteins that are produced by the immune system to help like foreign invaders. So you're eating the same food over and over again, you're not digesting it properly, it's leaking out into your bloodstream, and then these antibodies are responding to those maldigested like food particles, and that kind of they increase more to the same thing. So let's say you're eating a banana every single day, it's becoming this just this like conditioned response to that undigested particle. And I hope this makes sense. So what's so interesting, like you've heard of like food elimination diets, when you're trying to figure out if you're sensitive to something, and that's why it's super important to eliminate a food. Some say, 30 days, I would even say 90 days, because then you're allowing the antibodies to kind of like relax and like eliminate that food out. And then you can determine if that's something that you're sensitive towards. And that's something that I really work with clients on. I've done that with myself as well. Major eliminations, trying to figure out what are inflammatory for me. So basically determining what you're sensitive to in terms of your food is super important. And you might think, well, why the hell does it matter if I'm sensitive to a food if I don't like an allergy, and I'm not getting like have anaphylactic, shock or whatever. So basically when you're developing this food sensitivity, if you're eating the same foods over and over again, and that's perpetuating the leaky gut, and that's causing inflammation. So, I've talked before, and I'll talk about over and over again, that inflammation is really the root cause of basically like all health concerns. And so when you are contributing to that in your digestion by creating that inflammation, then that can just lead to, again, those food sensitivities, inflammation, leaky gut, and then that can present itself, and I've mentioned this before, in different ways. So that could be that could be insomnia, that could be headaches, that could be joint pain, that could be fatigue, that could be brain fog. And yes, I've talked about, when I mentioned brain fog, like there are so many things that can help support like mental clarity. That is hydration. That is like kind of weaning off of a lot of like sugary carb stuff. And all of that helps contribute to healing your gut. So it's all kind of like all these different things that we can do to help support our digestion. And one of them is food diversity. So when you think about rotating the foods in your diet, then that minimizes the stress to your immune system from those hidden allergies and sensitivities. Because so many things that we are just not aware of that we're sensitive to, and they're kind of coming out in different ways. Maybe we like have just a constant stuffy nose, or, we have to blow our nose all the time, or dry eyes, or whatever. There's so many different ways that the inflammation can present itself in our body that we just take for granted and we think is like normal human stuff, but it's a nuisance. And all those things can really be supported and kind of help fixed in a way. So basically, I'm so curious. Like I haven't presented yet in our conversations. I've talked a lot about leaky gut, but I just want to introduce the concept of the gut microbiome. And some people who are maybe done some investigation into nutrition might have heard that term before, but I just want to explain what the gut microbiome is it's essentially like your gut bacteria. So that's good and bad bacteria, and it's involved in your digestion, and it's also like communicating with your brain. So your gut microbiome has just a major influence on your metabolism and your body weight and your propensity to illness and your moods and your immune system and your appetite. And so a healthy and balanced gut microbiome is basically it's key to proper digestion functioning. And when you have proper digestion functioning, excuse me one second, and that's key to health. So basically, like there's so much research done on the gut microbiome, and it's really the past decade that it's become more and more this kind of like area of research and field in the nutrition world and science world, and it's really cool. But so much research has been done that the more richer and diverse the community of your gut microbiome are, is that it's lowering your risk of allergies, intolerances, and just health conditions. So just for example, like the studies have shown that your gut microbiome is linked to like cardiovascular health, and it's a tendency towards obesity, mental health. So it's just all interconnected. And when we think about eating like a variety of wholesome foods found in nature, like fruits and vegetables, then you're eating this anti-inflammatory diet. And side note, anti-inflammatory diet, as I've just discussed before, and if you're on my email list, I did a whole post on it a couple weeks ago, that is so important for inflammation. And again, inflammation is one of the root causes of all health concerns and disease. So basically, I've said this before, I'm gonna say it again, what you eat has a direct impact on your health. And so it's just being like super mindful and aware of that and the choices and decisions that you make surrounding that. And no one's perfect. You know, we're all like doing the best we can, and we're eating different foods that we love, or, you know, we know that might not be the best for us, and that's okay. But it's really just like, you know, in the present and the future, making these choices, and what and how do you want to feel, and where do you want to go with your health and your own wellness journey and your healing journey. So basically, how can you help support your like healthy gut, your healthy gut microbiome, and increase your good bacteria and boost your health? So my number one tip is mix it up. Mix it up. But I'm going to go through about 10 different specific tips for what you can do. And I just have to say, like, you guys, I love the farmer's market. And I went to the farmer's market yesterday because I was going to get some, like, you know, like different kinds of vegetables to do like a show and tell with you guys. And I got there and it was like not open. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. But then I did get a fun vegetable at Whole Foods. Sadly, as Whole Foods is becoming Amazon, their like food diversity, their produce is like just it's sad because they're just going more like wholesale. It's crap. But anyway, I still shop there, but so mixing it up. I went to the farmer's market. They didn't have it was closed, but I do have something to show to you in a second. Okay. So these are the tips for, my helpful tips that I hope that some of them will really resonate with you. If there's like one thing that you can take away from this list, do it. And I'm super stoked. Okay. So basically just keeping in mind that dietary diversity and food diversity is really about like challenging your concept of constantly eating the same thing. Okay, so first thing is, and I talk to my clients about this all the time, is like, do you have a standard way of cooking vegetables? So even if you have your favorite vegetable, you know, like me, like it's sweet potatoes, for example, or Brussels, whatever it is, I would recommend that what's so interesting is that the same vegetable can offer you different minerals and nutrients depending on how it's cooked. So if something is roasted, or if something is steamed, or if something is eaten raw, it's actually giving you different nutrients. Isn't that freaking cool? So if you have a go-to vegetable that you love and you always like, you know, steam your broccoli, for example, I would say, you know, roast it or saute it, or, you know, like eat it fresh and rotate the way that you're eating your vegetable. And that also will give you the opportunity to kind of like mix up and maybe try a new recipe or try a different dressing or a different yummy, healthy fat to cook with it. So that's super cool. So one thing that you do in terms of like cooking a vegetable, or if you always eat, something raw, like steam it, saute it, fry it, whatever. Okay. So the other thing is to really think about incorporating new spices and new fresh herbs into your dishes. Like these are basic, but it's so interesting when you introduce and use like, I think dried as well, but fresh also. Like it could be mint or parsley or coriander or tarragon, and that really adds like a different element of just to your taste buds, and maybe you'd find something in that you like, a new spice that, I'm not a cilantro person. Like a lot of people love cilantro, but and if you are a cilantro person, you eat cilantro all the time, maybe try something different. Try parsley, for example, and really experiment with that, because fresh herbs and spices are like, they're like the micronutrients in those just are like really spectacular. So I just highly encourage that to kind of really to mix it up. And also I'm obsessed with using with rotating my salts. So I have so many different sea salts. There's the Himalayan pink salt. There's just like the regular Celtic sea salt. There's different ones that you can get like from Hawaii. Like there's like charcoal, like black lava. There's one called I forgot what it's called, but there's like there's different salts, and those are also, it might not totally change the palate, but that actually brings in different essential minerals, and that is like, and it's just so fun, because it's like if you're cooking and you're adding a different salt and you're aware of that, then that's kind of like just making it more fun and more different, and unique. And you're like, oh, I'm going to try this salt. So the other thing is swapping. Okay. So I know many of us have like a go-to, like if there's a green you like, if like you're like a baby spinach or a, kale or whatever. So I would say if there's a green that you eat all the time for the next few weeks, eliminate that green, swap it out. If you always are eating, spinach, get some arugula. Or Swiss chard. Swiss chard is also kind of a little bit more mellow, like and bok choy is a little bit more mellow, like spinach. Or if you're more into the kind of like, bitter greens, which I absolutely love, arugula, and you haven't had that or you've never tried it, go for that. Also beet greens. Please don't throw them away. They're actually really a mellow flavor as well. So if you're getting beets and you're making beets, which are delicious, you can even use like the beet greens in your smoothie, or you can eat them fresh, or you can saute them with like ground meat and other veggies, which I did last week for our savory breakfast challenge. It's something that I do. So it's a really way to like get use of the whole entire vegetable. So, and if you are an oatmeal eater and you eat oatmeal often, swap that out for a different whole grain, like quinoa or millet. So those are really great gluten-free grains, quinoa or millet, that you could also do a porridge with, or you could even mix both of them. And that's another fun thing to do. And if you eat fish regularly, like if salmon is your go-to, like me, because I'm obsessed with salmon, try like wild-caught haddock or trout or herring. Just really, really push your boundaries and try something different and understand how important that is. Also, I'm so aware, and I love doing this. I as you know, I love to cook, and I know not everyone does, but when you do cook, I really encourage you to experiment with different fats, because the different fats are, again, just like different salts, are going to give different flavors. And so that's going to help, like mix up your palate and also give you different nutrients. So like some fats that you might not cook with that I would recommend are like duck fat. So duck fat is awesome. That's also a fat that you can do more on like higher levels. If you're like sauteing, Brussels sprouts, or if you're roasting, asparagus or something like that. Duck fat or avocado oil is a great one. I really love using that. You can do that, like just on salads, but also you can use that with cooking. So mix up your fats. And I really encourage you to stay away from hydrogenated oils and seed oils, like canola oil and sunflower oil. All those are really highly processed and can really oxidize, and when you cook with them at high heat, and that's can really be toxic for you. So I really encourage you to stay with, like, just in terms of fats, just like coconut oil, avocado oil, duck fat, chicken schmaltz, lard, and extra virgin olive oil. So anyway, and then the other is, and I'm so excited to give you guys my show and tell, farmers market. Oh my God. So depending on where you live, there, some cities or towns, I'm thinking and hoping that, everyone who's listening have access to a farmer's market. And can be so fun to go to a farmer's market because you just are introduced to different foods that you might not get. The produce is just different than at the grocery store, or joining a CSA, which is a community-supported agriculture. And I just want to stop for a minute and just ask, is there anyone who shops at the farmer's market or who belongs to a CSA, community-supported agriculture? I'm just going to take a sip of my tea. If you guys are watching, have a sip of your whatever with me so we can hydrate, unless it's coffee, but enjoy your coffee and then take a sip of water. Just teasing. So when you join, so a CSA, if you're not familiar, that is where you join into a local farm share. So you are committing in advance, and you're putting money in. And what's awesome about joining a CSA is that you are supporting a local farmer, and you do have to put up the few $100s or whatever it is up in advance, but then when you go and pick up your produce, or there's meat shares as well, or egg shares. It kind of depends on your town's option, but then it's you just have to front that cash first, and then you're getting like free groceries for the few months that you signed up for. So that's actually like just super fun, and it's this awesome community. Same with farmers markets. It's like connecting with your farmer. So I think the reasons why shopping at a farmer's market or joining a CSA is so important and can really, really help with getting out of that food rut and really impacting your and this opportunity for this food diversity and variety. You guys, you're eating locally and seasonally. And so there is such a huge difference when you eat locally and seasonally on your health. So basically, when we're just shopping at the grocery store and we're getting, produce from California, if you don't live in California, you're getting it across the country. Not only as it's traveling, is it losing not all of it, but a lot of its nutrients, but we're contributing to just all of the shit that goes on with these big trucks going across the country. And so there's that. But there's something about when you're eating locally and seasonally that and where you live, that you are really connecting with the earth. And that's like basically like when you're connecting with the earth and you're eating where you live locally is providing for you, that you are like in tune with that rhythm, which is just so amazing. And it's kind of like, lots of times like in springtime, there's like mustard greens or like they're super bitter, but they are a popular like springtime green. And that actually can help with like a springtime detox after a winter. And it kind of just goes to show that like, Mother Nature, it knows best, and connecting with that and how we're eating. And also how we're eating is so important and beneficial. And then we're eating at peak season. So we're getting those apples, or those rutabagas, or that winter squash, like as it's picked, and we're getting that as it's like the highest nutrients because it's super fresh and it's not, traveling for days, and sitting like in a cargo truck, Trust me, I don't eat all my vegetables and stuff from the CSA or the farmer's market, but this is just really important. Like I want to really encourage you, inspire you to experiment. And it just really, eating locally and is really just helps with sustainability on so many levels. So I'm very excited to show you my one show and tell. I wish I had more, but okay, who here? Okay, look at this. So you see this veggie and you're like, that is weird. What is this? But then you cut it open and you think, holy shit, this is fucking beautiful. Woo. Oh my God. This is a watermelon radish. You guys, it's a watermelon radish. How beautiful is this? This is actually from Whole Foods. Thank you, Whole Foods. Who has had a watermelon radish? Please write in the comments. I have. I'm going to write in the comments, I have, because I love them. I have had a watermelon radish and I love them. So they're a radish. So it's a radish. So, it's like got that bitter taste, which is like another conversation, but having bitters and bitter foods is so helpful for digestion. But so I just, when you're shopping in a farmer's market or CSA, or you get a watermelon radish at Whole Foods, if you've never tried it, or if the last time you had it was like 2 years ago, try it. And that's actually really good. Like if you put I don't know, like you could dip it in hummus, or you could put some like tuna salad on it, or whatever, any kind of like, dip that you want, or just like eat it with like a little bit, like a, piece of avocado and some salt on it or something like that. So good. So, okay. So you guys take a cooking class. Now, again, so many people are coming from different places. People love to cook. People don't love to cook. Blah, blah, blah. But I really honestly think this is a really good suggestion because it's like a fun thing to do if you're looking for like a date and like a fun date to do, whether it's like with your friend or with like your partner or like your lover or whatever. Take a cooking class. How fun is that? And that's when you're gonna, learn how to prepare like unfamiliar foods. You could also have think of it as an opportunity just to like try a different, if you're taking a cooking class, or it could even be a baking class, just like putting yourself in that position where you're experimenting and doing something fun can just really add this like, diversity to your life and to your palate. So also, every time you grocery shop, whether it's at the store, the farmer's market, the CSA, whatever, just try something new. So assuming you're just going to the regular grocery store, try something new or a food that you haven't had in a really long time. So when's the last time you had a watermelon radish? Or like dandelion greens or microgreens. I just think that getting one thing at the grocery store every time you go shopping is a really fun experiment, and it's something that's very doable. Also, shop at like an ethnic market and talk to the person there and like and try a new food that you never knew existed, and ask for maybe help with like a recipe, or if it's just something simple, just ask like how would you cook it, and just take notes. So I think, just going to an ethnic market and experimenting with that can really help you get out of this food rut and bring in more diversity into your life. And then another thing is like just thinking about having a colorful plate. So really aiming for, we might always not meet it, but try and aim for 4 different colors on your plate. That is a fun experiment. And, if that seems overwhelming to you, try for 2, try for 3. But that could just be, 1 week you're like, I'm going to go for 4 colors on my plate. And then you might actually find that it's pretty easy. If you've got a purple food like cabbage, and then you've got, meat that's like a brown or whatever, and you've got your watermelon radish, which is pink, and then your, butter, which is, yellow. So, there's that. And then my last one is like cook one new dish with 3 ingredients that you have not tried before or you haven't eaten in a very long time. And what I'm super excited about is that is leading me to our final February 5-day challenge. Are you guys ready for this? We are doing a new recipe challenge. Oh my God, I'm so excited. So the new recipe challenge is starting tomorrow. So you have 5 days between February 20th and 24th to choose one new recipe that you've never made before, a new dish that has aiming for at least 3 ingredients that either you've never tried or you haven't had in a really long time. That's the goal. And there's whatever you do, whatever you try, is going to be amazing. And I'm going to support you, but that's really the goal. And then we're going to share it, and we're going to in my private Facebook group. So, okay. So these are your next steps. If you are not already in my private Facebook group, please head over to Wellness HQ Health and Healing through Mindset, Real Food and Lifestyles. Wellness HQ Health and Healing through Mindset, Real Food and Lifestyle. I will post that in the comments of this Facebook Live. Head on over there. I just need to approve you before you're in, and then you can get in. And I will, after this workshop, I will write the guidelines for this challenge, which is pretty simple, but I'll write them. And that's where we could share recipes or ask questions. And sharing recipes and offering ideas is literally one of my favorite things to do in the entire world. So I'm your recipe girl. Reach out to me there or send me an email at info@thewellnessheadquarters.com. So, okay, next steps. Join the private group. If you want to participate in the challenge as a group, join the private group. And also, I would, me, I want to just build our community. So please, if you think that someone could really benefit from this workshop, tag them, or you can share it with them and invite them to watch the replay. The replay will be up just a few minutes after, Facebook digests the video and churns it out. So there's that, and I'll also post it on my YouTube channel, and you can access that on YouTube. I also send out that link if you're on my mailing list, which leads me to the next action step. Are you on my email list? If not, you gotta be. So there's some golden nuggets in there. So you can visit thewellnessheadquarters.com and sign up there. Or if you just want me to do it for you, just send me a Facebook message and say, here's my email, Alyssa, will you sign me up? And also another thing to do is to basically get an overview of what I talked about today and get that list of those tips of how to increase your food diversity and get my tips of how to get stuck out of that food rut and contribute to health of your gut microbiome. Visit thewellnessheadquarters.com/post/food rut. thewellnessheadquarters.com/post/food rut. So there's that. And also, I'm just, as you hopefully know, I work with clients one-on-one, and which is a deep, deep love of mine. And I am accepting new one-on-one clients. And one thing that I talked about is food sensitivities and intolerances, and how I really work with my clients very intimately on many, on your specific health goals and concerns. But a lot of it could be with food sensitivities. And, if there's sort of a hunch that you have that maybe I'm eating this food too often, or ooh, when I eat that, I get a pimple 4 days later, that's your body talking, and that's where I come in as your guide. So So please reach out to me. I'm very excited and happy that I offer 20-minute discovery calls. So that means that we would set up a phone call or a FaceTime or Skype date where you would share your health goals and concern, and I would explain to you what it's like to work with me one-on-one. So that's another opportunity to go deeper on your health journey with my support. But the main thing is let's make sure you're on the email list, thewellnessheadquarters.com, and please reach out to me there, info@thewellnessheadquarters.com, and here on Facebook, and join that private Facebook group. I'm super excited for our 5-day challenge of creating a new recipe. Who is with me? I'm really excited to try. I was like, ooh, what new recipe am I going to try in the next 5 days? So thank you for allowing me this opportunity to go into my like recipes or like do a little research and find something new that I can share with you, because I'm really stoked to help support you on this and see what you guys make. So again, head over to the private Facebook group. That's where all the action is going to be in this challenge. And next week, my final Facebook Live for February is going to be same time, same place, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my page, Alyssa Wellness HQ. And we're going to be talking about meal prep, time-saving tips, and for helping you with meal prep. So I know lots of you have been asking about that and really trying to set yourselves up for success. And one of those things you can do is meal prep. So I'm going to be helping give some like just strategic plans and tips for that. So have an awesome day, you guys. I look forward to connecting very, very soon, and I will see you live next Wednesday, February 26th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our meal prep workshop. Take care. See you soon. Bye.